What we are soon about to hear is Mr. Friend pontificating on the bowler hat. Came to be known as the bowler hat talk. There were others, and these together are called the bowler hat talks. But this extract is particularly significant because it captures the essence of Mr. Friend. Hearing it again for me and those who were present who knew him is a strange experience, to say the least. It doesn't come under the heading of nostalgia, more the heading of time travel, well, of a sort. When the recording was made, we were as close to the Victorian era, the late Victorian era, as we were as close as right now, today. The bowler hat talk, courtesy of Mr. Friend.
So, today's date's the 4th of March. Now, what about life insurance?
Leave that for the time being.
Yeah.
See how things go.
Right.
See.
Yep. Very good.
And I suppose you'll miss your man.
Oh, well, I mean, let's face it, apart from a client, I like young Tony. Anyway.
Yeah.
He was, like a breath of fresh air. He was always jolly and nice. I thought he was a type of man that is always a pleasure to even pop in that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway. I was asking where the blonde went to, up there. And, you one there. Oh, yeah, she's nice, isn't she? Blimey. Yeah. Then you want one of your,
Oh, no.
No. Yeah, she's gorgeous, isn't she? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yes, all right. Well, then wait till you get. I'll tell you what. Do you run banking account?
Yeah.
Give me some idea, because I want when we discuss something at a later date, right?
Yeah.
You give me some idea. Then again, we've got to cut the cloth to suit the right.
Yeah.
The pocket to suit the cloth. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't worry about the term because any endowment policy with the company. You can always arrange the years. If we put it on a long term to give you the advantage of the premium and the type of policy, you can always alter that policy within 10 years of it maturing. So you can always alter a policy. Now give me some idea and I've got something to work on.
I see, yeah. Also, Tony had a lot of insurance with you, really, didn't you?
Yes, but yes, the sort of policy I'm trying to, introduce to you. That's the one I'm thinking of here. The one you used to pay to the bank on a banker's order.
Ah.
And I think he had a couple of thousand going with us, you see. And I'm sure we could accommodate you on something like that because you never know. With a policy like that, you can always loan off it, you see. Or you can always utilise it for collateral purposes, you see, with your bank at any time, which you may be interested in when it comes to security. Or for that matter, to utilise a policy for house purchase at a later date if it was required for collateral security. No, I would think either a 25-year term or even a whole life policy that you can alter. Look, would I be rushing my fences at this stage you'd like me to go ahead with this here,
Yeah.
but you don't feel that, for instance, you'd like me to call, say Thursday night or something like that.
Well, not just yet, up to a little bit more organised.
That's it.
Because we're a little
Right. Right.
disorganised at the moment, business-wise.
So what I'll do, I'll keep those details, and in my silent twilight effort, I'll get down and look up something, you see, which I think may fit into your pattern, you see.
Yeah.
And then any ideas out of that, we can struggle and get it together to a picture, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So, I mean, you see, what you got to think of, son, that what you sell one man is not always the answer,
Yeah.
or will suit the purpose of another character. So, you know what I mean? You see, you can have a group of friends over a drink and say, oh, have you got an insurance policy? And the character said, no. Oh? Oh, well, I was thinking of taking a policy out. What do you got? And then when his insurance man comes along, or whatever it is, I want the same policy. Well, the chances are that he may not really know what the actual policy is about.
Mm.
From his friend, you see.
Mm.
But I know what Tony's got, right?
I noticed you've got the different hat tonight. It's not,
Yeah, I
it's not
know.
quite such a nice one,
I haven't
actually.
got my bottle one tonight.
Oh, shame, I miss it.
I tell you
I
what,
really miss it.
that's an old one too, that'll walk out on its own in the end. But with me, I have a haircut, as I had last week. It cuts a bit off the back. With a bowler, you want, how can you put it?
You do. You do.
If you wear, look, I don't wear that bowler for fashion.
No.
I wear it all day long. And
Quite.
it slips, unless you've got a lot of hair on the side. You know what I mean?
yeah.
To grip it.
Yeah.
You follow this?
Yeah.
It's either falling back this way, or you've got to push it in front of you for it.
Yeah.
You see, these city types in the main wear it on the front, but they're really only going from A to Z. If they were walking up and down Holloway Road all day long, you would find it would slip.
Indeed.
So therefore, if I have a haircut, and I haven't got so much hair at the back here,
No.
I go back to my old trilby for a little while.
It's funny that people who wear a trilby.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they're a complete waste of time as a hat.
Really?
Well, if you're going to wear them constantly, you know, for everyday purposes.
That's so.
Look at the grease coming out of that, look. It's only, what, a couple of years old? My bowler is about, I bought that from Duns about 4 years ago.
Lovely. Only I've heard it say you can't beat a bowler.
You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't beat a bowler if you're going to wear it consistently for its value of money-wise. I would say that a bowler will serve you in length of time far adequately than any other type of hat you may wish to wear.
Really? Is that so?
Oh, yes. And I'll tell you something about a bowler. A bowler may look morbid or sad or whatever it is about it, but it's a very warm hat.
Yeah.
When you got it on, when you keep it on, wear it. In other words, I would know the difference in wearing a bowler to a trilby. Ah, you can't compare. Okay. Particularly on a cold morning.
In an area like this, do you get any sort of funny remarks?
Nah.
Because it isn't often seen, is it, in Holloway?
No, but then of course I've been walking around here for 20 odd years, so I suppose I would be an accepted character. I suppose, you young rascal. But then if they see you, if you've seen them grow up, you know, it's a question of respect, isn't it? No, definitely. I've always wanted a bowler, put it that way. In other words, you're possibly being very kind to me in a way, because if I were to wear that hat consistently, there would be many policyholders who would say to me what you've just said.
Yeah.
Mr. Friend, where's your bowler? I like you with the bowler on that.
Certainly.
Yeah. Now, I've always been honest about that bowler. It was my old dad that put me onto it. I used to come home either in the evening or during the daytime, soak through and all this business was there. And he once said to me, why don't you get yourself a bowler? Far better than wasting money on trilby hats and all that business. You get a bowler, it'll last you years. And I went down to Duns, first bowler. Yeah. It's like a motor car. In the end, it's amazing, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
And I fell in love with my first bowler. Really did. I wore it like a musical joke in the end, as well may Charlie Chaplin set an image, because it really would have walked off my head in age.
Yeah. You had the first one a long time, did you?
I reckon the first bowler hat that I got from Duns just after the war, I had it for a good 7 or 8 years. And I'll tell you what, Bob, they used to make them then. Inside. Inside, you know what I mean? They don't put the amount of work into it now because they're not the fashion, you see. Not really.
Yeah, I've noticed, and they're a different shape.
Yeah, you've got this deep laugh now, you know.
Yeah. Curly brimmed. Yeah.
Which really is only for fashion, that part.
Mm. Takes the old thing of Alex or something, doesn't it?
Well, I think I understand that there's such a thing as a town bowler, a country bowler, and all this sort of thing, you see.
Mm. To say the least.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if I had the front, I'd wear a bowler myself. But I feel out of place.
Yeah.
You got the picture?
I have. But then again, what sort of work do you do?
Freelance photography.
Yeah. You're not really concerned about dress so much, are you?
No.
No, well, I wouldn't worry so much. Well, look, put it this way. I've had my leg pulled prudential-wise. Because...
Prudentially?
Yeah, prudentially, because there are very few prudential men that I know of that wear a bowler hat against a trilby. In fact, the company's man from the Prudential now is with a trilby on.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And now look,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
very few, and I'm talking about the top brass.
Mm.
You might get one or two from Hoban,
Yeah.
you know, that may wear them, but not many. Not many.
Of course, there's only a few who can wear them, really.
I like a bowler myself.
Mm. It's not everyone who can wear one.
No, you've got to have the right cock.
Yeah.
Agreed? Some people look, yeah, well, nobody's ever accused me of looking that way. You see, that's the point where it comes in, you see. If you never had the face to go with it, or something about the face, well, I think you would be open to this musical joke. So, I wear mine, and all my friends, all my brothers, either at home or anywhere I'm going, will always want to put the thing off. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then again, it's funny you should say that. I mentioned about my dear old dad. Now, in his day, everybody wore bowlers on a Sunday, for instance, working class men.
Yeah.
That was the hat to wear. You see, with the gold watch and chain, you know what I mean, and the waistcoat, so, which was predominant in those days,
Yeah.
particularly jewellery, with the women as well.
Yeah.
A lot of working class men, I well believe, wore bowler hats.
Yeah.
Not as an uplift being the city type and all that business, because you see, bowler hats in those days were more or less all, how can we put it, more or less standard
Mm.
with the brim type. The city man always had this special brim business, you see. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, a bowler hat would suit you.
You reckon?
Yes, I do. I do. Because you've got a round face, you see. You know what I mean? You've got a round face, a cherubial face, and, you see, and it would suit you. If you had a thin, drawn-in look, a bowler hat wouldn't be any, you know, it wouldn't put you up the higher bracket at all. You'd be going around making people unhappy. See? Or, you know, they, you know, what's the point?
Yeah.
You'd like to wear a bowler hat, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the next time I come here, you can put the bloody thing on and have a look at it. Look at yourself. Because you've got the height and you've got the face, sir. And I'll tell you that now. No, I never found it didn't want to take me, Ricky. Well, there's something about a figure, you see. You take women, now I would say that, and the wives here now, I would think that you take women that are on the stout side, right? And anything that they wear in the main, they will be under heavy criticism from women themselves amongst their own sex, you see. Because they would be looking funny about something about them, you see. Well, you take a bowler, well, I think really you don't want to be a squatty bloke. You want to be tall, reasonably tall, really above average height. You know what I mean? 5'9", 10-ish, to get away with it. You see. I think you could come under criticism if it looked a little musical, a little bit that way. Yeah. Old Tony got knocked down, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Encounter.
He shook him up too.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
He did.
It did at the time.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Down the ages, Satanists have practiced their black arts and worshipped the devil